Right, here we go. So we'll look at your setup to start with, obviously. Doesn't take a genius to look at that and think, okay, yeah, we've actually got a sort of spine angle there now. What we're looking for, from right hip to right shoulder and the club shaft, to be roughly 90 degrees, which you're close enough for me, okay? But if we look at it from here, if I get that sort of green line there, and then the right... That to me there is a bit further away than 90 degrees. So you're very level with your hips, very upright with your posture. And because you're upright with your posture, there's a more curve at the top here. Now, your head looks more round, your head looks down on your chest there, your chin's down. Restricts your rotation, obviously, from up the top of your chest there, because your chin's down here. Whereas if you look at that there, start again. Where you look at that there, there's actually daylight now under your chin. Where you look at that there, it's all, it just looks a bit all kind of tucked up and cramped. And as we said, if your limitation, because of the hip hop and stuff, is going to be there, restricting your rotation by, let's say, 10%. That's going to lose a bit of distance, which is why your aim time's going 120, not 130, 140. Okay, we need to make sure we maximise to that level. If you then increase the limitations by being a bit rounded in your back and a bit chinned down on your chest and a bit level with your hips, so you've got too much a kind of level angle here now, roundness here and head down, you can't rotate. If you're perfectly vertical, so if your spine angle is up here and your hips therefore are here, your rotation there was quite free and you could rotate almost 90 degrees. If we then put your spine angle like this, or put your hips up here, you can't go anywhere. You really restrict yourself. And that, I think, for me now going forward, is probably something I'm going to keep an eye on every sort of so many sessions or whatever. Just keep when you come and practice, have a quick look and see how your posture goes. Or you just check yourself in the mirror, or get a take a video, you swing on the golf course and send it through to me. Okay, how's the posture looking? Because if that falls back into which it can do for cold, a bit cold, we get a bit of thing. Not playing so well, your body language, it's slouched. Just you're rushing from the car, you've been sort of sat in the car, you get the car park, you get your shoes on, you're in the car park, put your shoes on like this, you're naturally rounded anyway, and then you run the first tee, you're there. So all these little variations that can cause that posture to get a little bit lazy or a little bit hunched is going to restrict your movement. And once your swing was restricted, you then said to yourself, I can't quite get through it. Okay? Now, you couldn't get through it when your posture was there. The other thing is, I'm not going to say it's easy from here now, if the ball, though, is too far back towards your right foot, you're hitting the ball early. So you can't get through the ball because you're already at the go. I can't get through it because I've hit it. Okay, so just make sure it's just left of centre. Okay. Centre-ish to left, ideal, so down to your left chest. Most clubs throughout the bag, I'd say. All that's going to really, if you, well, I'd say if you look at if that's your left foot there now, and I put a golf ball, this would be kind of off the ground. Red would be your driver. So your red one would be kind of there, and that would be your kind of width of stance with the driver, so the shoulder width apart. Okay, as you go to maybe your 3-wood, your hybrid, your 4 and 5 iron, the ball now is going to go back to that blue ball, and your feet are going to be there. So the ball's still kind of left to centre. As you go to a 6 or a 7 iron, your feet are going to be there. So the ball now looks more towards the centre. As you go to a wedge, your feet are going to be there. So now that third red line and that green line and that blue circle, that ball looks in the middle, doesn't it? Hasn't moved though from that spot there. All that's happened is you brought the feet in a bit closer each time, which you would just do naturally. You would never really stand there with the same width of stance for a 70-yard wedge as you would do for a 200-plus-yard drive, would you? Just automatically you're going to get narrower. So
the only time really you'd have the ball back in your stance, or really forward, or back in your stance, is if you're hitting. If you want to play
like a lowish shot under trees, or maybe a low chip. But even then, again, talking of chipping, if you're going to do a chip shot, you'd bring your feet really close. Oh, look, the blue circle now is back of your stance. Hasn't still changed from that green line at the front. All that's happened is you brought the foot in closer. So, and that way, by keeping that as a constant, you're always aware where the ball is relative to your left side, which is in my mind your hitting side. If the ball's moving back and forth like a yo-yo, it's just a guess, isn't it?
It's always getting.
So really, for me, there's two ball positions relative to your left heel. The driver and bunker shots are left heel, or in line with your left heel. Everything else from the ground, where you want the ball cleanly, is that blue ball, is just back of your left heel. And again, you'll play about with how far that could be, 6 inches to 8 inches or whatever it may be, but it's going to be back of there. If you start putting the golf ball way back, a different colour, back here somewhere, you're hitting it as you're coming down to golf ball kind of early, and you haven't got a chance to get your own way, and the ball then scuttle off to the right because you're going to be catching it probably a bit hozzily because you're leading a bit early with that, and it's too far from the inside, so the ball's going to just shoot off to the right there. and then you're trying to spin on your right hip. So
if you were in a fairway bunker, for example, you'd be looking at
probably more the blue. Yeah. You want the ball cleanly. There's an argument to say you could shuffle it back just a little bit because you want the ball. Make sure just emphasise the clean hit with the ball first rather than the sand. But yeah, I don't tend to move the ball that much back and forth. I tend to move my feet width narrower and wider, which encourages then a different ball position relative to me, my sternum.
It's all about keeping the
find a constant. Yeah, I mean Nick has made all his shots from left heel. Everything, putter, every shot Nick's played left heel. Driver, woods, irons, putter, a lot. That's where he felt comfortable. Yeah. Every shot played left heel, which is why the ball's so bloody high. But then I think technology that back then was you had to sort of get the ball up in the air, hit a one iron as high as he hit a one iron up in the air as he did. You had to put the ball back in the stands. You're going to be knee high to a grasshopper. So he played everything. If you ever watch or read his book or watch his VHS as it would be back then, Golf My Way 1, which I still my favourite videos. It's all left heel, all off the same spot. Didn't change it at all. His feet did get narrower. So didn't change it at all. Exactly. It changed it really relative to the sternum, you see, because your legs get wide, your sternum moves back with that. The legs get narrow, your sternum moves to the left where the ball would have kind of been. So. Okay, makes sense?
Yeah, perfect.
Excellent.